Hello there and welcome back. My name is Sean Reimer. I don't rhyme, and usually for videos nowadays I have my phone next to me with a list of notes of topics that I want to talk about regarding whatever it is that I'm filming. And for this video, I don't. This video is going to deal with some heavier topics. It's completely okay if you need to click away from this. I'll see you in the next video where I'll be, I don't know, rummaging around, childhood collectibles or ranting about my resentment for the Calgary Flames, that sort of thing. This video, I need to talk. And it's okay if you don't think you're going to be able to listen. That it's completely okay. I want to talk about my friend Martin. I'm wearing this shirt because this was the shirt that I wore when I found out that he had passed a couple weeks ago. I was filming a May the 4th video for Steve Harris. About half an hour later, as I was editing, I was kind of scrolling through Facebook, and I found out that Vance, who plays Eric Menard on Constar, you guys know Vance, he's awesome. He did a welfare check on Martin because Martin hadn't been posting in a little bit, hadn't been messaging in a little bit, and sure enough, the deputy that answered that welfare check immediately confirmed that he was gone. So I want to talk about the kind of person that Martin was, how much I love and miss him, and aspects of death and legacy and a feeling of grief and helplessness that I'm experiencing for one of the first times in my life. And it's scary. It is a little bit scary, but I'm trying to make the most of what I'm feeling. And I think that's ultimately what I want to convey in this video. Whatever you're feeling, use it in some way that will counteract that pain. I had known Martin really since I had begun filming fan films. The second film that I did, we had a scene together, and it ended with him telling me to shove an umbrella up my ass. And that was back when I was using this Blue Yeti for the iPhone recordings, and I just could not get the gain right whatsoever. It's unbearable listening to that.
You can't open an umbrella that's already up your ass.
Oh, snap. We had been messaging a lot, especially about disability. Martin had to have his right leg amputated. My fiance Lexa has a similar disability going on with her leg. That's genetic. I feel like we were able to talk to each other on a similar wavelength when it came to the effects of disability, isolation. The fact that as much as the world says that it's accommodating for people with disabilities, as much as you see the commercials, you see the media, you see the parades and whatever it is they do nowadays. The reality is that the world isn't. Nor do I think it will be. That's been a big subject of mine in the Star Trek fan films that I've made. Realistically, I don't think in the future there's going to be certain things like accommodating people with disabilities or certain mental health aspects, addiction. I feel like there's stuff like that that's still going to exist. Me and Martin were really able to connect with each other over that and really help each other because, like I said, disability is one of the most isolating things you can ever experience. And I just hope that he felt a little bit less alone talking to me, because I certainly felt less alone talking to him. And we met in Harrison, Arkansas to film Constar the motion picture in September of 2024. I remember getting off the plane in Harrison, taking the cab to the 1929 Hotel Seville, and I messaged in the group chat if anyone wanted a drink before waking up early to go film the next day. And he said he was in the presidential suite with Greg Teft. And I knock on the door, and he's towering over me. He easily has a foot over me, despite not physically having a foot over me. He made that joke a lot. And we really connected together on set. Whenever there was a break in filming, we'd constantly be talking. I remember booking an extra sort of gap day after filming, just to be able to unwind before flying back to Calgary. And I feel so fortunate that I did that. I am so lucky to have spent that little extra money to be able to spend a free day with him. He and Christina got me into Sonic Drive-Thru. We talked a lot about fan films, about future projects. I talked to him about me possibly doing a series, which I'm happy to say that I am. And I'm sad to say that it won't include Martin. It won't include his character Ruiz in a starring capacity. But I'm happy to say that his character is going to still play a very vital role in what I'm planning. Because it took me a long time to rewrite the scene that I had planned for Constar 2 that had his character in it. But I'm really, really happy to have done that. I remember the last thing he said to me before he had to go back home, and that was, "I don't want to go home." And I wish he didn't either. I could tell that he felt very, very alone, and the times with us in Arkansas, he had company. He felt listened to, because he absolutely was, and he was loved. I loved the hell out of the guy. He was my friend, and he always will be my friend. And he was struggling towards the end. He was struggling to make ends meet. He was struggling to pay the bills for him and Carl. He had gone through a few cats that had died of mysterious circumstances, and he was really torn up about that. It really infuriates me how someone in his condition can't get disability, but you have a bunch of hypochondriac TikTokers getting it left, right, and center. Those types of personalities over someone who literally doesn't have a leg. He deserves so much more support. And we tried. We really tried to help him. And that's really what I've been feeling with this grief as well, a feeling of helplessness. I couldn't help him towards the end. I didn't reply to his... He had messaged me by the time I had gone to bed, and I completely forgot to reply to some of his messages, and I never will. There was a lady at my work who was schizophrenic, who I'd been trying to help for the past year and a half, who ended up getting arrested at my store, and I felt very, very helpless to do anything. And that's been compounded by Martin's death. And there's a feeling as well of, why am I still here, really? In 2023, I ended up taking about 40 hydrocodone tablets because I was in a bad spot. And once the naloxone gets in your system from the paramedics, that's not the thing that's going to kill you. It's the Tylenol. The higher end limit of Tylenol ingestion is about maybe 4,000, 5,000 milligrams. And I had taken 13,000. I should have died. My liver should have been wiped out, and it wasn't, and I'm still here, and Martin isn't. It's a weird sort of survivor's guilt, and considering the circumstances that Martin was in, and I haven't received official confirmation of how he died, but given what I've gone through, and then with him struggling with disability, with trying to make ends meet, trying to pay his bills, I think I know what it was. Lex and I have been watching a lot of Nerd and Texoma, which we found has really helped with the feeling of grief. It really helped me be able to power through and write this script and be able to say, okay, this series that I'm planning is still going to happen, and if anything, it's going to mean even more. And it's like I can't even just think of how I feel. I got to think about how Sanders feels. Despite the fact that me and him are different people, we process the same things. Death of Ruiz is going to wreck him, even more than he's already been wrecked, and it's a matter of him trying to find redemption. So that's what it's going to be, him trying to find legacy, like me trying to find legacy. Martin Bennett deserved so much better than what he got. And it's a very cliche thing to say after someone has died, but he didn't deserve to go. And we miss him. We really, 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 really miss him. And this has been a very new experience with grief for me, because this came out of nowhere. I feel like previous deaths, say in my family or whatnot, they've been sad, absolutely, but I was prepared for it. Like, I knew they were going to die. I just was able to emotionally disconnect myself leading up to when they passed, to be able to move on better. And with Martin, I'm struggling because it really came out of nowhere. The circumstances of it, I really miss my friend. I hope that whatever it is I make will get through to people about how amazing and vital he was to not just my life, but the lives of everyone in the fan film community. Because he absolutely made a difference. He absolutely made a difference. At least he did for me. And isn't that why we're all here? If you make a difference in at least one person's life, you've made it. It's exponential from there. I'm really going to miss you, Martin. I'm really going to miss you.
Real life has a way of sneaking up on you and doing things you don't expect and don't want. But I figured I would share some of the good right now that's going on, which I think, is a necessary thing. I mean, we need time to process and mourn the bad things, figure out how to cope with it, how to respond to it, how to react to it. We need to get that in there. It's part of just the process of life. Y'all know I always try and find the good and stuff, and well, here's my little good bits. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all through this whole journey. It's been difficult, it's been rough, but honestly, y'all, everybody who has given me any type of support throughout this, y'all are awesome. And I seriously couldn't have done it without y'all. Just having a cheerleader in somebody's corner to sit there and say, hey man, if you need to vent, I'm here. I don't understand your situation, but you've got my support, you're in my thoughts, stuff like that. It's so important. Alright. Nerd and Tech Soma. See y'all next time.